Have you ever think about the small creatures that are responsible for pollinating many of the crops we rely on for food? Meet the honeybee, one of the most important pollinators in the world. Welcome to Animals Channel. Today we are going to talk about honeybees, the most fascinating insect. Honeybees are a type of social insect and are known for their role in pollination and, of course, honey production. Honeybees are a type of bee that is found all over the world except Antarctica. They are social insects and live in colonies consisting of a queen bee, drones, and worker bees. Drones are male bees and worker bees are sterile females. Worker bees are responsible for most of the work in the colony, including foraging for food, carrying the young, and building and maintaining the hive. Worker bees use their sense of sight, smell, and taste to locate flowers that have nectar and pollen, and they communicate the location of these flowers to the bees in the hive using a complex system of dance and pheromones. Once a worker bee finds a flower with nectar, she extends her proboscis, a long tube-like tongue, to suck up the sweet liquid. She stores the nectar in her honey stomach, which is a separate pouch from her regular stomach. The nectar mixes with enzymes in the honey stomach and is partially digested, which turns the nectar into honey. The worker bee also uses her legs and body to collect the pollen from the flower. She has special brushes and combs on her legs that help her scrape the pollen from the flower's stamen and onto her legs. The bee then uses her mouth parts to pack the pollen into pollen basket on her hind legs, which are special structures made of stiff hairs and wax. The bee can carry a significant amount of pollen in her pollen basket and bring it back to the hive for storage and feeding the brood. After the worker bee has collected enough nectar and pollen, she returns to the hive and passes it off to other worker bees. The nectar is regurgitated and passed from bee to bee until it is eventually deposited in the hive as honey, while the pollen is stored in the pollen baskets or used to feed the brood. As I mentioned before, honeybees communicate with each other through a complex system of dance and pheromones, which helps them to find food and navigate back to the hive. In this sophisticated system, honeybees use their body movements, pheromones, and sounds. And the most well-known form of communication among honeybees is the waggle dance, which is used by forager bees to share information about the location of the food sources with other members of the colony. The waggle dance involves a worker bee moving in a figure-8 pattern while wagging her abdomen. The angle and duration of dance convey information about the direction and distance of food source relative to the position of the sun. Other worker bees are able to interpret this information and use it to navigate the food source. Absolutely amazing way to communicate. In addition to the waggle dance, honeybees also use pheromones to communicate with each other. Pheromones are chemical signals that are released by individual bees and detected by other bees. For example, the queen bee releases a pheromone that signals to the worker bees that she is present and healthy, which helps to maintain the social structure of the colony. Honeybees also use sounds to communicate with each other. For example, when a bee is disturbed or threatened, she may emit a high-pitched buzzing sound that alerts other bees in the vicinity to the danger. Bees also make different sounds during the process of swarming, which is the natural process of colony reproduction. Overall, the communication system of honeybees is highly sophisticated and allows them to work together effectively as a cohesive unit. Honeybees play a critical role in agriculture as well, as they are responsible for pollinating many of the crops that we rely on for food. When honeybees collect nectar from flowers, they also transfer pollen from the male part of the flower to the female part of the flower, which fertilizes the plant and allows it to produce fruit or seeds. In fact, it is estimated that honeybees are responsible for pollinating about 1/3 of the world's crops, including fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Some of the crops that rely heavily on honeybee pollination include almonds, apples, blueberries, cherries, cucumbers, melons, peaches, and pumpkins. Without honeybees and other pollinators, many of these crops would have lower yields and poorer quality, which would have a significant impact on food production and supply. In addition, honeybees also help to maintain the health and diversity of ecosystems by pollinating wild plants and flowers. Aside from their role in pollination, honeybees also produce honey and other products such as beeswax, propolis, and royal jelly, which have serious uses in food, medicine, and cosmetics. They also help to support local economies through the production and sale of honey and other bee-related products. So, they are essential for sustainable agriculture and the health of our ecosystems. But are they dangerous as well? Or if their hive is in danger? When a honeybee stings, it releases a venomous toxin that can cause pain, swelling, and redness at the site of the sting. However, honeybee stings are generally not dangerous unless the person stung is allergic to bee venom. If a honeybee perceives a threat, it will first emit a warning pheromone that alerts other bees in the colony to the danger. The bee may also fly in a zigzag pattern or circle around the threat to assess the situation. And if the threat persists, the bee may sting in order to defend itself or the colony. When a honeybee stings, it will release a pheromone that signals to the other bees to attack the perceived threat. This can result in a swarm of bees attacking the person or animals that is perceived as a threat. However, they are not naturally aggressive and will generally only attack in defense of their colony. If you encounter a swarm of honeybees or a hive, it is important to stay calm and avoid making sudden movements or loud noise. If you are stung by a honeybee, it is important to remove the stinger as quickly as possible and to avoid scratching the sting site, as this can spread the venom and can cause more swelling and discomfort. In general, it is important to respect honeybees and their habitats and to avoid disturbing or destroying their colonies unnecessarily. But the sad story is that the population of honeybees has been declining in many parts of the world in recent years, a phenomenon known as colony collapse disorder, or CCD. The causes of CCD are complex and can include a combination of factors such as habitat loss, pesticides use, diseases, parasites, and climate change. As urbanization and agriculture expand, natural habitats for bees and other pollinators are destroyed and fragmented, making it more difficult for bees to find a suitable nesting site and food sources. In addition, the use of pesticides in agriculture and other areas can kill bees directly or indirectly by reducing the availability of food sources and weakening their immune systems. Diseases and parasites also play a significant role in honeybee population decline. For example, varroa mites are a type of parasite that feed on the blood of honeybees and transmit viruses that can weaken the bees and eventually lead to their death. Other diseases such as nosema, fall brood, and chack brood can also weaken and kill honeybees. Climate change is also a factor of population reduction of honeybees. Changes in temperature and rainfall patterns can affect the availability of food sources and nesting sites for bees, and can also increase the frequency and severity of extreme weather events such as droughts or floods, which can impact the bee populations. These issues are required a range of solutions. Efforts to preserve and restore natural habitats, reduce the use of pesticides, and promote sustainable agricultural practice can all help to support honeybee populations and ensure their long-term survival. Moreover, planting wildflowers and other bee-friendly plants are just a few ways that we can make a difference. So next time, when you see a honeybee buzzing around a flower, remember how important these tiny creatures are to our world. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and leave a comment about what else do you want to know in the next videos.